Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'll take you through my favorite stretches and exercises to open up tight hips, to work on stability and mobility of the hip joints for safe middle splits practice. Enjoy the class. Start making your way into a butterfly position. Soles of your feet together. Sit up nice and tall on the top of your sitting bones. Open up the chest and start leaning forward. I'm bringing it into a bit of circle motions. So lean onto the sides. Lean all the way back. Lean onto the other sides. And open up your chest as we take it all the way forwards. Keep those circle motions going. Maybe close your eyes as you start bringing awareness into your breath. Start taking a deep, long inhales through the nose. Deep, long exhales through the nose. If your knees are quite high up today, that's absolutely fine. Just gently guide them down. Finding a nice big release, warming up into the hips, into the lower back, into the inner thighs. Change direction, going to the other way. See if we can make the circles just a little bit bigger. No need to rush it, take your time. Pause wherever you start feeling a bit of a tension. Bit of a sweet, tight spot. That's where you want to pause. Maybe hold for an extra breath. And then carry on with the circles. Couple more deep breaths. Leaning forward just a little bit more. Keeping the spine nice and long. Last breath. Last big circle. And bring it all the way up. Lovely. Bring the fingertips behind you, open up your chest. We're coming into the first 90-90. So flex your feet, press the back of your heels to the floor, open up your chest as much as you can, sitting up tall on the top of your sitting bones. As you inhale, lift the chest just a little bit more. And as you exhale, take both of your knees all the way to your left side, looking over your right shoulder as you lift the right hip off the floor. 90-90, one of the best ways to warm up the hips, to work on the internal and external rotation of your hip joints. Keep those going in your own time, your own breath. On the inhale through the center, maybe open up your knees just a little bit wider, squeeze into the glutes. And on the exhale, we take both of your knees to your left as you lift the right sitting bone off the floor, looking over that right shoulder. Inhale through the center. Knees wide open, squeeze into the glutes. And on the exhale, left inner knee comes nice and close to the floor as we look over the left shoulder. Back through the center. Straighten your left leg. We don't have to go too wide just yet as we slide the right heel in towards the pelvis. Slide your left hand down your left leg. Keep the spine nice and tall. Right arm reaches up and over. So finding the big right side of your body stretch. Maybe look up from underneath your right armpit. Keeping the right sitting bones nice and heavy on the floor. Bring it back through the center. Right palm finds the floor. Left arm sweeps forward as we bring the hips up. Activate your glutes. Send the hips forward and find a big expansion through the left side of your body. Hips forward, maybe look up. And bring it all the way down into the sitting position. Frame your left leg. Point your toes. Try not to lean back as we lift the left leg up. Open up the chest. Lift the leg as high as we can. We just hold it here for 10. Now lift your chest. 9, 8, 7, 6 to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flex your foot, lower your left leg all the way down to the floor, and we start folding forward over that leg. If you can reach towards your toes, bring the toes a little bit closer towards you and be folding over that leg. Take another deep breath here. On the inhale, we find a length through the spine. And on the exhale, perhaps we fold a little bit deeper. Again, keeping the left side of your body nice and long. Start walking your hands back through the center. Coming back into the 90-90, slightly different position variation. So flexing through the feet, open up your chest, open up your knees as wide as you can, squeeze into the glutes. So like a little upside down frog pose for me. Squeeze, 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 lift the chest. And this time I would like you to keep the sitting bones on the floor as we're taking the right inner knee all the way down. Try to bring it as close as you can to the floor. No need to go all the way down. I don't want you to lift the hip off the floor this time. So the hip stays down. When you look down, the knee and the hip create a 90-degree position. Lift the chest just a little bit more. So the chest is pointing forward. Let the left knee drop down to the floor just a little bit more, keeping the chest open. And really feel the muscles firing and working as we bring in a nice, strong internal rotation into the practice. Feet are flexed. Bring it back through the center on the inhale. Open up the chest. First, frog pose. And on the exhale, the left knee comes nice and close to the floor. Only go as low as you can. Then really work strongly into the muscles, finding the end range position of your leg, and try to go beyond using the muscles. Open up the chest, tight squeeze, and we're thinking about the hip rolling forwards. Flexing your feet, check again, knee and a hip in one straight line. We go one more like that on each side, knees wide open, open up your chest. On the exhale, right inner knee comes nice and close to the floor. Perhaps you might be able to go a little bit deeper this time. Sitting bones stays on the floor. And straight onto the other side. Inhale through the center, knees wide open. And on the exhale, other side as the left inner knee finds the floor, or just bring it as close as you can. This will happen with time and practice. Guiding the right hip to stay on the floor or to bring it a little bit closer to the floor until you start feeling that beautiful opening. Lovely, and back through the center. This time we straighten the right leg, sitting up tall on the top of your sitting bones. Slide your left hand down your left leg, right hand down your right leg. Left arm reaches up as we open up the chest, and we look up from underneath your left armpits. Maybe softening into your right elbow, keeping the left side of the body nice and long, and the left sitting bone stays on the floor. Bring it back. Left palm finds the floor as the right arm reaches up. Lift the sitting bones off the floor this time. Activate your glutes. Open up the chest. Maybe look up. So feeling the beautiful release through the right side of the body all the way to the front of your hip. And release. Back into the seated position as we frame in the right leg with the fingertips. Again, sitting up tall. Try not to lean back. So we really want to target the quads and the hip flexors. Fingertip stays down. Point the toes of your right leg. We lift the right leg as high as we can. Don't have to go too high, just a little bit. We hold for 10, 9, 8, lift your chest, 7, 6 to go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it down, flex that foot as we fold forward. Take a breather here. If you can reach your foot, pull the toes closer towards you. If not, just stay nice and tall and walking the fingertips towards that foot. Take another deep breath here, inhale to lift. On the exhale, we fold. Lovely work. Back through the center. 90-90 for one more last time today. This time, no hands. So sitting up tall, take your knees nice and wide, flex your feet, lift the hands off the floor, guide your knees to go down. You might actually want to use your forearms to take your thighs closer, but please be gentle here. No need to force your body into the limits. Just assist that stretch. Perfect. From here, no hands needed as we take the right inner knee all the way down to the floor. So your chest and your body goes with you, and now the chest is pointed to the side wall. Adjust your position. So back leg is 90-degree position, front leg 90-degree, and we try to keep the torso on the top of your hips without leaning onto the left side. So nice and tall, you more than welcome to fingertips on the floor. We're going to lift the back knee off the floor. Try not to open up your chest with you, so just the hip is moving. Take your knee up nice as we can, squeeze into the glutes. Very light on the fingertips, bring your knee down. We go up again for 10 and 9. Just lift it for 8. Maybe no hands. Try with no hands for 7. Flex your feet for 6. Tight squeeze at the top for 4. And 3. Lift your chest for 2. And 1. Perfect. Bring your knee all the way down to the floor. Now we're going to lift the back foot. We don't have to go too high with it. Here comes the internal rotation again. Really squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Lifting the heel as high as we can, finding the end range and try to squeeze at the top. We got this. Up for 10. And 9. Lift your chest and your chest stays pointed towards your left leg. 4, 6, higher up. And 5. Last 4. And 3. Last 2, a little bit higher. Last 1, we stay squeezed at the top. Bring it down. Lean a little bit more onto the left side. Place the fingertips to the floor if needed as we hover the right leg up. No hands if we can. Challenge yourself, challenge your strength. We go up. 4, 10, tiny pulses. 9 and 8 and 7. Lift your chest. 60, go. 5 and 4. We got this. 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Well done, guys. Coming back through the center and start walking your hands forward. Maintain the length of your spine as we walk in the fingertips as far forward as we can. Open up the chest on the inhale, and on the exhale, soften into your elbows. Fold over your left leg. So ideally, chest is nice and close towards that left shin. Still keeping the feet flexed. Take another deep breath here. And release. Start walking your hands back in. And this time, no hands needed as we pick up the right leg up. Flex the foot, or keep it flexed as we bring the knee all the way up, rotate, and we tap the right heel on the top of your left knee. Try not to use your hand for the transition. Go back. We keep the knee and the foot hovering off the floor as we send the foot back. 2 more like that. All the way up. This time, maybe straighten that leg if it's available to you as we bring the right heel on the top of your left knee to connect. Back through the center, nice big movement through the hips, send the heel back and away from us. 1 more like that, maybe straighten your leg if we can, and place the foot on the top of your knee. This time, guide your ankle to come on the top of your left knee. Fingertips behind you, expand the chest. We are in a double pigeon. So shins are on the top of one another. Your right ankle is on the top of your left knee, and the right knee on the top of your left. Guiding the thigh to go down, really working in the strength. Maybe staying here today, this can be quite a strong pose. If we're ready, we start walking the hands forward, maybe leaning forward. Maintain the length of the spine, sitting bone stays heavy, heavy on the floor. Take an extra breath here. You can gently bring the forearms on the top of your thighs as well. Last breath. Same way out of it. So no hands needed as we pick up the right foot away from that thigh, go all the way back, knee and foot to the floor. No hands needed. We'll do the same sequence onto the other side. So let's go through the center, knees wide open, and this time the left knee comes down to the floor. Chest and your body goes with you. Adjustment needed. Check again, 90 degrees. Flexing through the feet. Open up your chest. Start with the fingertips on the floor. Lifting the chest, nice and proud. Stack the toes up on the top of your hips. We start with the left knee. So left knee starts slowly going up. Pulse at the top. See how high can we go? Keeping the chest pointy forward. So try not to collapse and open up your hips to the side. No hands as we lower the knee. Bring it back up. If this seated position doesn't really feel comfortable for you, you're more than welcome to place a little block or a blanket underneath the right sitting bones. Keep those going. If we need, fingertip stays on the floor. Just work with your own body. These will get easier and better with time and practice. We go for 6 and 5. Tight squeeze at the top. Remember to feel the muscle engagement. Really build up the strength to support your hips, to work on the stability of the hip joints. 4, 2. Last one here, lift, squeeze at the top. Knee goes back down, now we lift the foot. Remember, this side might feel completely different to the other, absolutely fine. Just start sending the hip forwards. Lovely work. Lift and down, come up nice and high with effort. Keep going. So strength is as important as flexibility. So this is really nice exercise to build up the strength. So we keep the middle splits, practice safe, or just general health of the hips. So good, so important for us. 3 to go. 3 and 2 Last one, stay here. 3, 2, 1, release. Lean just a little bit more onto the right side so we can lift the left leg up. No need to go too high. And we pulse. 4, 10, 9, 8, and 7. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Well done. Fingertips onto the floor and start walking your hands forwards. Spine stay straight. Maybe onto the forearms if we can. Just notice the stretch happen on the back of the right hip, the right glutes. Catching up on that breath. One more big breath in. Big breath out. Perfect. Walk your hands back. We know what's coming. Ready? Let's do this. No hands needed. Pick up the left leg up. Nice big circle and see if we can bring the left heel right on the top of your right knee to top. And bring it back. Perfect. 2 more like that. All the way up. Maybe straighten that leg this time. Lift the leg as high as we can to top your knee. Bring it all the way back. Send the heel further back so we're squeezing into the glutes again. Last one, we straighten that leg. And now you can use the hand to guide to bring the left ankle right on the top of that right knee, right thigh. Fingertips behind you to start with, and there could be a big gap between the knee and the ankle. That's absolutely fine. Let that happen. Just again, using the muscles to guide your knee to go down closer towards your right. Open up the chest, close your eyes, and maybe this is where we stay. Keep both of your feet flexed. If we have more space, let's go all the way forward. All the way down, wherever that feels comfortable for you, whatever you feel, that nice little release. Perhaps a bit of a sway, taking hands further forwards, keeping the chest nice and proud. We go one more big breath here. Lovely work. Back through the center. Open up both of your legs and we're coming into the low squat. So, feet flat on the floor, you can use your hands to lift the bum up. And coming into your variation of a low squat, so maybe using the blocks underneath your sitting bones. That would be fine. Lift the hands off the floor and rather than pushing your knees to go out to the side with your elbows, first I want you to engage the glutes again. So a bit of a movement. And now I want you to think to take your knees, what is now behind you, to the space behind you. Squeeze. Squeeze, that's it, squeeze into the glutes. Lift the hips just a little bit higher. Try not to collapse into the pose. Lift, create the space. Keep going for 10 and 9 and 8. Squeeze, can we feel that? 4, 7 and 6. Last 5 and 4. Lift your chest for 3 and 2. Last one, keep it wide open. Now you can use the elbows to gently go wider with the knees. Bit of a movement. Lovely work. So remember to use the strength, to use the muscles surrounding your hip joints. One more big breath. And then place the palms onto the floor. Turn the toes pointing inward so we can come into a nice straight-legged forward fold. Keep your feet just a little bit wider than your hips. Fold down. Soften into your knees if needed. As we start walking your feet out a little bit wider. Keep the toes turn in, heels slightly out. So we're creating that little external rotation in the hip joints. As we fold in deeper. You can take hold onto your ankles, pull yourself all the way through. Or if you are a little bit higher today, take hold onto the elbows as we sway from side to side. So choose a variation that works for you. Just getting a nice big release here. Just one more big breath. Bring the fingertips back onto the floor. Turn the toes out. Heels in. As we walk the hands towards your left foot. Keeping the right leg straight. Toes of your right leg will now point up to the sky. And we take your left knee back, again using the same muscles as we did in that low squat. So guide your knee to go out and you can gently use the elbow to help it. Don't go crazy, nice and gentle. If your heel is lifted off the floor, absolutely fine, let that happen. Now lift the fingertips off the floor, finding the balance. Lift the chest. And quietly and gently bring the sitting bones down to the floor. If that didn't happen, or we can't find the floor with the sitting bones, slide the block underneath it. So we are down. From here, we bring the left knee in, all the way down to the floor. Open up the chest, we fold in over your right leg. Keeping the spine tall, we bring it back up. We take the left knee away from us, and this time we guide your elbows to go closer to the floor. Only go as low as you can, maybe keeping the fingertips on the floor, guiding the thigh to go wide. So your left knee might want to go inwards. Don't let that happen. Maybe rolling through the outer edge of your left foot as well to find a deeper stretch. We're going to add on. So we're going back up again. Right knee finds the floor, inner knee all the way down to the floor. Frame your right leg with the fingertips. Point the toes of your right leg. We hold the right leg up. We hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 to go. Lift your chest for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down and just fold over that right leg. Flex your foot. Lovely work, guys. Take another deep breath here. Big breath out. Walk the hands back in. The left knee lifts up again, as wide as we can. With your right hand, take hold onto your left ankle. Left arm reaches up as we're going all the way to the side. Now watch your left knee. It might want to go inwards. Don't let that happen. Keep it wide open. Doesn't matter that we're nowhere near the right foot. We're not actually aiming to get the foot just yet. We just want to create a nice big side body stretch as we take in the left knee the opposite direction. If you can find the foot better, even better, but don't worry about it. Just focus on a big side body stretch. Maybe look up from underneath that left armpit. Back through to center. Well done. Try to lift the bum off the floor, so as we went in. No hands needed. And our fingertips to the floor as we're making our way onto the other side. So all the way through the center to the right side. Keep your left leg straight. So we pause here. Press the back of your left heel to the floor, toes are pointing up, and your right knee is going out to the side, using the strength as well as just a bit of a gentle assistance of the elbow. Open up the chest. And on the exhale, we bring the sitting bones quietly and gently either on the floor or on your block. Adjust where needed. Sit up tall, and we start bringing the right knee to the floor. Good. Fold forwards. A little bit easier with the first one. We'll do that one more time. So from here, right knee goes up and back. This time I want you to lean forwards. Maybe walking the hands forwards or taking the thigh further away from us. Thinking about big gap between the right shoulder and that right knee. Nice. Back through the center. Bring the right inner knee to the floor. Frame your left leg with the fingertips. Point the toes, lift the leg up. And with the tiny pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Flex your foot, we fold. Lovely work. Take an extra breath here. Pressing both of your sitting bones heavy, heavy on the floor. And back up. Same way out of it, so knee goes out. Now guide your knee to go even wider. With your left hand, take hold onto your right ankle. Right knee stays as it is, as the right arm reaches up and over. Think about the side body stretch. The right sitting bones pressing down to the floor, so we're getting deep into the right side of the lower back. Maybe looking up from underneath the right armpit if it's available to us. Again, we're guiding the chest to go wide open, the right shoulder to go back. And release. We'll lift the sitting bones off the floor again. Try not to use your hands for it. There you go. Fingertips to the floor or into the straight-legged forward fold. So turn the toes in, heels out, fold deeper. Slide your hands down your legs, pull yourself all the way through. Crown of head is reaching down to the floor. Tailbone is pointing up to the sky, and think about separation of your sitting bones so we can really target the back of your legs. Fingertips to the floor and heel toes your feet nice and close towards one another. We are back in a low squat. Toes out, heels in. You should feel a little bit nicer now. Bring your palms together to your heart center, slide or push the knees further out to the side, as well as we're still working into the glutes. So if you were to leave the elbows, nothing will happen with the legs. We would not collapse into it. So really strong in the pose. One more big breath. And try to make your way into a seated position without using the hands. Bend down, straighten your legs, straddle, splits. Lovely work. If that didn't happen, just use your hands, place the fingertips onto the floor and sit down. So, from here guys, flex your feet, pressing the back of your knees and the back of your thighs onto the floor. So really active through the thighs. Place the hands on your hips and just start rocking forward and back. This might not happen today. It will happen with practice and with time. So just focusing on rolling forward and rolling back through the sitting bones. Start bringing a bit of circles into it. Same as we did at the beginning of the class with the butterfly sits. Same applies here, just a bit of a circle motions. Find a little bit more of a space. Some kind of a movement in the hips. Change direction, going to the other side. Maybe bring it forward a little bit more. Gorgeous work. One more big circle here. And bring these into your practice. Such a great way to go deep into the hips. One more big breath. And let's all meet in the center. Fingertips to the floor. Pull the shoulders down back, open up your chest. Guide your elbows to be nice and close towards your ribs. As we lean forward, look forward. So think about bringing the belly button to the floor. Press back up. Keep going with those. If you find these challenging enough, or you need to split practice, middle splits or straddle split practice, or the hips are just really tired, this is where we want to stay. Otherwise, bring your fingers at the back of your head as we're doing the same thing. So little good morning things here. Still keeping the spine straight, and we're trying to bring the belly button to the floor first, then the lower part of your ribs, then the chest. 3 like that. Your option is to keep the fingertips on the floor or hands at the back of your head. 2 more. Inhale to go down, lower and lower each time. One day the chest will find the floor as you exhale back up. Last one, inhale. As you exhale up. Lovely work. Bring your arms up all the way to the sky. Point your toes. Open up the chest to the left. Lift your left leg up. Bring your left leg down, lean over that left leg. Bring it through the center, spine stays long, arms stay straight all the way to the right side. Arms up, right leg up, right leg down, fold over the right leg. We go through the center and again, hands up. You can lean back a little bit more with it. Left leg up, just a little bit higher. Left leg goes down, we fold, keep the spine long. Think about reaching forward constantly. All the way through the center, belly button to the floor, all the way to the right side. Arms up, right leg up, right leg down, fold. Bring it through the center, and this is where we pause, fingertips to the floor. Send the chest closer to the floor. Now bring it back up, fingertips in. Roll back through the sitting pose. We try to lift both of your legs off the floor up. Legs down. Chest to floor. 2 more like that. We press. We lift both of your legs off the floor. Pause at the top. All the way down. And fold. Last one like that. Fingertips to the floor. Tucking the tailbone under. Lift the thighs. Holding for 3, 4, 2, and 1, bring it down, flex your feet. Let's take it all the way down into the straddle split. Let's go a little bit wider with the legs if we can. So maybe lift the hips, the sitting bones off the floor, wiggle them forwards until one day eventually the legs will be parallel to the side of your mat. We take it down. A few breaths in your straddle split. So go as wide as you can with the legs. Still keeping the feet flexed, the toes and your knees pointing up. So we're guiding the thighs to go back, still creating that little external rotation in your hip joints. Really active through the quads. Maybe bring the belly button closer to the floor. Think about the length of the spine. Sitting bones heavy, heavy. One more big breath. And release. Start walking your hands back in. All the way up through to sits. And use your hands to help you to bring your legs together. Lovely work. Cross your ankles and we're making our way into a frog pose. So from your tabletop, guys, slide your knees nice and wide. Coming into the 90-degree position here. So we've done this pose already in a seated. Now we're using the floor to melt us down. So flexing through the feet. Ideally knees and the hips in one straight line. And then start bringing the chest to the floor. So before we fall down and stay in a pose in a stillness, couple more rotations. Tuck your tailbone under. Start bringing the belly button to the floor as we lift the left foot up. Left thigh comes to the floor and then back. Sending the sitting bones back. We do the other side. So bring your belly button to the floor as we lift the right heel up. Right foot flexes. Bring it back. If this is not happening just yet, just carry on with the rocking forward and back, trying to bring the belly button to the floor and then back in and out of it. So you got few choices and variations to choose from, either adding on a lift and a thigh of the floor for a deeper rotation, or if you're new to the practice, forget that and just rocking forward and back. Or just try to lift the foot just a little bit, just a couple of inches off the floor, that will do. Any movements, any last stretches before we settle down into the frog pose. And then bring it into the stillness. Slide the knees a little bit wider. Make sure your knees are supported either with your mat, carpet, or a little blanket. Bring your frog pose into the stillness. Completely heavy. Still keeping the feet flexed though. And just take a 3 breaths here. Close your eyes. Relax your facial muscles. Relaxing that jaw. Heavy through the head, shoulders, thighs heavy. Melting deeper and deeper to your mat with each exhale. Last breath here. And release. Just walk your hands forwards. Bring your legs together. Bend your knees and just give it a windshield wiper with your feet, moving them from side to side. Cool, so now let's have a look at the middle splits. Use your blocks if needed. Let's go. So back into the tabletop, back into the wide-legged stance that we already done throughout the class. So take your feet, walk them as wide as you can. Now, maybe stay here today, perfectly fine. Otherwise, we bring the forearms to the floor as we carry on walking the feet out to the sides. Wherever you are with it, find a comfortable position. You're more than welcome to place the forearms on the block or stay with the arms straight. Choice is yours. Still keeping the feet flexed and the thighs quite active here. So make sure we not soften into the quads. Really active through the quads to protect your knees. Once you find a perfect position that you feel like, okay, I'm really feeling this. This is really good. That's where we want to stay and pause. We go 5 breaths, guys. Bring it into the stillness. Find a position where you feel comfortable, but you still feeling that stretch. And that's where we want to hold and breathe. Box splits or middle splits, they won't stay overnight. They take weeks and weeks, months and months to work on. So bring this into the practice. Go over this class a couple of times a week. Pause wherever you need to pause. Take a bit of a stretch, a bit of a breather. Take another 3 breaths. Last breath as we are. Completely relax. Well done. And slowly out of it. You can use your hands to bring your legs together. Cross your ankles, come into a comfortable seated position. Place your palms on the top of your thighs and just give your body a nice big roll, similar to what we did at the beginning of the class. You can give your hips, your thighs a bit of a squeeze, a bit of a massage. Perfect, well done guys. Thank you for stretching with me today. Any questions, any requests, please comment below. If you like the sequence, give me a thumb up, like the video, practice a couple of times a week, and I'll be looking forward to stretching with you very soon. Bye, thank you.